right.
I wish I could do like 5, 4. I wish they let you know exactly the moment
Yeah.
because it's always such an awkward done. Going to, all right, YouTube. All right, we are here. Welcome everyone to Sharing the Magic. We are a big vault of Disney stuff, conversations, interviews, stories with people, and we have been for the past. Well, this is part 2, but last week we have been sharing the magic with Gregg's collection of massive amount of awesome Disney things. And so, Gregg, I want to welcome you back and welcome to part 2. This is exciting.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. Snapshot, you want to remind our listeners, who you are and
Sure.
and maybe this is an interesting question. How did you actually start? What did you have one thing that you collected and you went, "Ooh, I think I want more of this."
Well, let's see here. I started collecting Disney back in the late 1950s. That's 1950. Okay, long time ago. And what got me hooked at collecting when I was a little kid was Randotti. Randotti made those skeleton heads and heads that had hair hanging out of it and stuff, and they sold them exclusively in Adventureland. And when you get off of the Jungle Cruise, you'd see those shrunken heads. And I told my mom and dad, I said, "Oh, I got to have one of these," And they said, "Well, you have an allowance, you can use that on these things." And I'm thinking, "Oh, okay." So let the spending begin. So, I was really hooked on the Rendotti skulls, and I had them in all varying sizes. And if you saw my bedroom at the time, it was just adorned with all of these skulls.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that was my thing.
Yeah.
That pretty much was predecessor to the Haunted Mansion. So when the Haunted Mansion opened up, in '69, then it was like, wow, I can expand my skull collection to match some of the things that they have for sale for Haunted Mansion memorabilia or merchandise.
Yeah.
Back then it was new, it was merchandise. Now it's memorabilia.
Memorabilia. That's the non-word. That's the non-nerd way to say it.
So it's like
I collect. People be like, "You collect toys." It's memorabilia. It's pop
memorabilia.
culture. There's
Yes.
wordplay is a beautiful thing.
So I started collecting in the '50s, and it was weird. It was like uh, I didn't know that. Well, I thought with all these new attractions that are opening up at Disneyland, I thought, I'm a kid of about 13 years old, and I thought I'm just going to write to Disney, Disneyland, and see if I can get anything from Disneyland on any of these new attractions. So I started doing letter writing campaigns, and I didn't address them to anyone in particular. I would just openly just say, "This is what I'm interested in. Can you send me anything that you have on this particular attraction or this particular subject?" And they would then Disneyland would then take my letters and forward them on through the various divisions of the company, and then I was just lucky to have certain people just answer me back. That like I said, I didn't address my letter to them particularly, but the people that wrote me back were people like, I have letters from Yale Gracie, I have letters from Mark Davis, I have letters from Frank Allnut. These are all Disney legends. These are all people that unfortunately have passed on too, but these are people that made Disneyland or any Disney theme park what it is today. And I've got handwritten letters from these guys. I mean, you think like, "Hey guys, there's a thing called a typewriter. You can type can type this out." But no, I mean, I've got these beautiful handwritten in like cursive lettering from Yale Gracie and Mark Davis and Sam McKim and all these Disney legends. that I absolutely cherish, and I'm glad I'm your absolute pack rat. If what you're seeing behind you or behind me is
I
any
like pack rat.
indication as to what the type of person I am,
Yeah.
you know, what you're seeing behind me is just the tip of the iceberg. So when comes to the letters that came back to me, and these people, I didn't know who they were at the time.
Mhm.
I just thought I'll just keep these letters and put them part of my collection. I'm so glad I did. I
Ah,
mean, just
wonderful.
just incredible. But
Well, let's get to your collection. You want to start?
oh sure, I'll see
Yeah.
here.
So we ended last week, I do believe, on a time machine.
Oh
And
yes.
I think that is where we will start again. And
Uh,
we can stop anytime you want. Again, like I said, I'll go as slow or as fast as you want, and we'll just, we got many more weeks to come. So for you, enjoy yourself, everyone. Get a cup of whatever that you like. Sit back on the couch and enjoy the ride.
yeah.
All right, so we
Oh
don't
yes,
need
there it is.
we yeah, so we
There we
this is
go.
last week, so let's move on because we
Yeah.
did discuss this last week. Okay, here's the
Oh
next
yeah.
one.
Oh, this my buddy Steve Laser and I. We've been. He's been to Tokyo Disneyland a number of times. I went back with him a couple of times, and of one of the times we went over on World Bazaar. That's their main street. Um, they have a shop. It's the Disneyana shop, just like we have here in Disneyland.
Yeah.
And in the Disneyana shop, they had this original sketch that Herbie Ryman did for Walt Disney when they presented the sketch of Disneyland to the bankers
Mhm.
back when they were looking for financing for for Disneyland.
Yeah.
And it's a bird's eye view of Disneyland, and it's this print is so famous. It's the one. I think they call it the Long Weekend or something like that, where Walt and Herbie were like sitting in this one of the studios back at Walt Disney Productions, sketching out what what Walt Disney imagined Disneyland was to look like.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
from this original, uh, the the, the over at Tokyo Disney in a shop, they had a limited collection called the Imagineering Collection, and this was part of it. And from that, as what you're seeing here is just the certificate of authenticity that came along with the poster. So not poster, it's a lithograph. So I've got like two of them in my collection, and they're so big. I mean, these
Yeah.
things outscale the Disneyland map itself. These things are huge, and to frame it and hang it on the wall, or you can see the dimensions right there
Oh
on the
yeah.
screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, 30 by 48, and then when you put molding and matting and everything down around this poster, it becomes very large and occupies a lot of wall space. So for the most part, all it does, where mine sits, it sits on, it's like free mounted on foam core, and then I do a shrink wrap around it to preserve it so it doesn't get damaged at all.
Yeah,
So
that's smart.
yeah,
Foam core. Yeah. I know all that
so
is.
if you want to show them what it is I'm talking about,
A
you know,
foam core is like it's gosh, how do I describe it? So it's like I would like to say, the signs that you put on your lawn that has that's not foam core, but it's like the right dimension. It's a little.
what's cool about this too is that I think I mentioned in one of the podcasts that we did, if it was not last week, it might have been the week before. I mentioned that a true Disney limited edition was typically 300 items or less. Okay,
Mm,
anything over 300, uh, the way the Disney company does now is like if they do a limited edition, they think a limited edition is like limited to 200,000. Well,
mm,
unfortunately, that to me is not a true limited edition. Now,
yeah.
that's what they put on their pins
Hmm.
that are available, at at a man at the Disneyana shop or in
Yeah,
some of the Disney theme parks.
yeah.
This particular lithograph uh, was limited to 200, so
Oh.
it's a true limited edition.
Oh, well, it says it right there.
Yeah.
This limited edition, 200 pieces, uh, one of 200. Do you know? Sometimes if something's like that, it'll give you the number. Yours
Okay.
is 56 of 200.
Well,
Uh,
mine is one of the publisher proofs where it says PP 1 of
yeah,
25. So
yeah,
mine is that much more limited. So I've got one of those.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I like that. Oh, I did it
Oh,
again.
oh, you did it
Stop
again, dude.
share. Does it all the time.
Yeah.
He'll do it at least once or twice more. And then I have to go, like, everyone's going to be like, hey, your Facebook is weird. Let me go back. Because I have to go back to our. Have you collected anything this week?
Yeah, like I said, my buddy Joe, back in the late 80s, he taught me how to do my own framing.
Hmm.
So all of my attraction posters that hang in my family room, I did myself.
Yeah,
So,
that's really cool.
materials, when you're framing a poster that is, there we go.
Yeah.
So that poster is huge. I mean, it's unfortunately. I wish I had laid a ruler next to this print,
Yeah.
but just to give you the
Oh,
magnitude
it's
of
big.
how
It's a
big
big
this thing
one.
is.
It's
Oh, it's
big. That's
gigantic.
cool.
So to to occupy wall space in the limited wall space that I'm been given by my wife to work from, it just takes up way too much room.
Yeah.
So it never sees the light of day unless I take it out to just simply look at it and enjoy it for a couple of hours, and then I'll bring out my magnifying glass and I'll zoom in real close into certain areas on the map to get a feel for what Herbie Ryman was going through as Walt's like leaning over his shoulder, saying, "Okay, now let's work on the Frontierland and the Mark Twain, and then we'll sketch down over towards Adventureland, that kind of thing." It was like that's what I imagine when I'm looking at this map in detail with a magnifying glass. Is
Yeah.
just it just brings back memories of like what things must have been like at
Yeah.
Walt Disney or at Wet Enterprises, with Walt standing there and working with his Imagineers.
It's such a snapshot,
It is.
and that is a ride upon its,
Oh yeah.
of itself. That's really cool.
It
Okay,
is.
so that's the other. Okay.
And what I have here is that Walt Disney, I mean the Disney and Shop put out this publication for all their limited edition lithos that they had in their Imagineering collection,
Okay.
and they had this map. They also they had John Hench's uh, garden, the one with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs that sits sits over in Fantasyland, just outside of the castle in Disneyland.
Hmm.
So they had the artwork that John Hench put together up for sale in a limited edition as well.
Yeah.
And then inside of this publication, as you open it up, it gives you the description of the piece that you're looking at, its price, and a little bit about the artist, who in this particular case was Herbie. But like I said, the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs grotto in Disneyland, that one by John Hench, it just has a different description for that particular pamphlet.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, here we go. So here, you're getting a little taste
Yeah.
of this is the piece that you're about to buy,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay. There's
there it is.
there it
And there's
is.
Herbie down in the corner.
Yep. Yep. Down there. Cool. Oh.
Ah, this is the type of envelope or manila envelope that I'd get back from Walt Disney Productions uh, all the time. Back this, in fact, if we look up at the date, you'll see August 2nd, 1973. Uh, from 1969 all the way to the 1990s. I got so many of these envelopes with so much stuff. I mean,
Hmm.
fact sheets, photographs, uh, you anything that Disney Productions would give out as like publicity material to anyone from the press to just an interested parties. They would
Yeah.
just ship it out to you, and there was no
Anything from
charge. It was
Burbank just makes my heart go,
oh yeah,
oh, because
yeah,
I just that word Burbank, because I remember as a kid,
yeah.
everything, and if you want to, send in this to Burbank, California.
Yeah,
So Burbank, California, growing up for me as a millennial,
yeah.
it was just something, you heard that Burbank, California. So maybe it's sort of like I'm Pavlov's dog, where I
Oh, yeah.
salivate every time I hear the word Burbank, but it's true.
I salivate every time I see that logo with Mickey
Yeah.
painting Walt
Uh-huh.
Disney's name on the on the envelope. It's
Yeah.
just that painting just brings back so many memories for me. Oh,
That's wonderful. I like this one.
okay.
Oh, fun.
Oh, okay. Back when Walt Disney World was just getting ready to to they had made the announcement that they were building Walt Disney World. I wanted to jump at the chance to start collecting things of Walt Disney World that I missed that opportunity when Disneyland opened.
Hmm.
Mind you, when Disneyland opened, I was 1 year old. I was a 1 year old, so running it was out of the question at the time. But I missed out on a lot of things that I later on in my life were able to collect from the opening of Disneyland. Well, for Walt Disney World, I made a point. This was 71. I started collecting Walt Disney World collectibles back in 69.
Mm.
So uh, a lot of the things in here are you could purchase, like the big D Walt Disney World Black Edition was their special commemorative edition. You could buy that at Disneyland or at Walt Disney World, but and then the pictorial souvenir guide that's just below it, where it's shows the Main Street fire engine in front of the castle, the Cinderella Castle. Those two publications you could purchase, but the
Hmm.
ones to the left, the ones that say a complete edition about Walt Disney World, the Vacation Kingdom of the World, a green one. Yeah, that one was not given out to the public.
Mm.
You had to know who to write to get this,
Mm.
and it was just I can't recall who I got this from, but I've got about four of these in my collection,
Oh, wow.
and they're just absolutely beautiful
They
work.
are beautiful.
Oh,
I,
they're gorgeous. I mean, and if you open this publication open, like full on to where the back page is like side by side with the front page,
yeah.
it shows Walt Disney World with Bay Lake, and here you're looking at pretty much contemporary resort, the Persian resort, which was never built, Walt
Yeah.
Disney World, I mean the Magic Kingdom itself. But what you don't see is the back page, which would be off to the left of this,
Hmm.
which would show the Polynesian resort and then several other resorts that were being proposed at the time.
Cool.
So that publication came out in 1969, 2 years before Disneyland opened, and then shortly after that one came out, the one below it came out where at Walt Disney World they had a preview center where if you were driving down the highway near the property, they had a big sign saying, preview center open to the public, and you drive onto the lot and you could see this model that you're seeing here in this photograph of the publication,
Yeah.
and it was sort of like it was kind of this particular publication took a lot of what was out of the one just above it, took that out, and made it put it into a language that your average person who doesn't know much about what's about to come at Walt Disney World, let alone any Disney theme park, which at the time you only had Disneyland. This would give you a little preview as far as like what to expect.
That's cool.
And looking at this photograph, I'm just amazed. You've got to the left, you've got the Asian resort, which they never built, but the
But
platforms, I want to say par, a portion of it still exists because that particular area became the Grand Floridian Resort.
mm,
And then to the far
looks
right,
like paradise. It's just
oh yeah, the far right, that's the Polynesian Resort. And then in the very background, oh gosh, it's like, if you're looking at the two hotels right
mhm.
up across the lake, a little square kind of rectangular shaped building,
Oh wow.
that was the Venetian Resort. So Disney World, or Walt Disney, had several different uh, hotel accommodations, um, themed over, after specific types of lands and things
Yeah.
of the world. So you had, in the very far back left corner, you had the Persian Resort, and then you had the Polynesian Resort, or the Contemporary Resort in the center, and then to the left is the Asian, and then in the far right is the Polynesian. And yeah, just looking at that photograph, and to think that model actually still exists somewhere at Walt Disney, or at Walt Disney Imagineering, probably squirreled away in some warehouse somewhere. But
Like with the Ark of the Covenant.
you're right.
It's in the same like Indiana
Right.
Jones.
Exactly.
Right there. It's in the same warehouse.
But for me as a kid, and I'm getting these things, I'm writing back and saying, hey, do you have another copy, or yeah,
Yeah.
can you send me another? So to say of the preview edition, I've got many copies of that, and like I said, the one above it, I've got like 3 copies of that. And then when I went to Walt Disney World, I went. Uh, my buddy and I, Steve and I went. It was like a month after the grand opening of Walt Disney World.
Hmm.
I got a stack, and I still have a stack of the first pictorial souvenir guide. And like I said, with the black D edition, I've got the commemorative edition. I've got about 5 or 6 of those still to this day.
So cool.
But they're so well written, and the photographs are just incredible.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. How do I not? Okay.
Oh, there you
Cool.
go. Oh, the gold doubloons.
Yeah.
Uh, okay.
Doubloons.
Yeah.
The doubloons. I know that word, everybody, and I only know that word because of Disney. Because I'm like, what is a doubloon?
Yeah.
And anyways,
Sam McKim is the designer of the doubloon for Disneyland and also Walt Disney World.
yeah.
So, with his design of it, they had a machine that would stamp out whatever phrase you wanted to on the medallion itself. But the doubloons that they sold at Disneyland were all silver.
Mhm.
But this is a gold medallion, and they only made, I believe, from what my friend Matt McKim, Sam's son, told
Yeah.
me, they made about 300 of these, and that was it.
This is cool. I like
And the thing was that Sam had all of them. After they had them made, he had all the doubloons. They didn't go out for sale because of this limited run.
Mm-hmm.
So after I did some things for Sam and Matt, they thought it'd be nice to give me 2 of them. So I've got these 2 that sit in my collection, and they are truly gold in appearance. And I promise you, you won't see these out on eBay anytime soon.
No, this one is getting me nerded out a bit
Oh yeah,
because like, oh yeah, this has got to be. These are amazing.
it's
Wait, so
it's
what year again? What year?
well. Let's see. I think Parts of the Caribbean came out. Oh,
I know.
geez.
That's why. Sorry, Disney lovers. I just failed at trivia, but
Well, I know that I've got a button that says the pirates are coming, and I may have sent it to you on the
okay.
whole slew of photographs that
Yeah, it's probably if
like.
so, it's here.
Yeah.
But maybe it's next. Let's see.
Well, let's see.
Nope.
Now
No.
We'll come back. We'll come back to
Yeah,
the
we'll come.
we'll
You want
come
to go
back to the
back?
doubloons in a second.
Hmm.
So this back in 1969 70, Gulf was a major sponsor for the Magic Kingdom, and they put out a limited run. You can only pick this up at a Gulf gas station in Florida,
Hmm.
and these were book covers for children's books.
Oh, really?
So I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, we'd get books like
Yeah.
our arithmetic books, English books,
Uh-huh.
or the school would assign to us, and then it
Hmm.
was our responsibility to cover those books. My mom would take like a barrel bag from the grocery store and cut it up in such a way to where it would cover my books.
Yeah.
But when I saw this come out, and this cover was exactly what those barrel bag covers that my mom used to do would work as.
Yeah.
So I have a bunch of these too. And what blows me away is if you zoom in to the little, it's like right above the archway as the entrance into the castle. There's a little foyer, and I don't know how close you can get into it.
This is as close as I can get here.
Okay, but there's a little sign in that window that says,
Is it here?
"Remember remember grand opening is October 1st, 1971."
Oh.
So it says that on there. But yeah, these
Oh.
yeah, it's such a cool book. It's a book cover.
Book
With
covers were, by the way, I'll just have to say this about book covers. They were deceptive because I would forget sometimes. I put on an awesome book cover on
yeah,
like a math book, and it's like, oh, there's like fighter jets. I'm like, oh, this
yeah,
is a
yeah,
great book, and you open it like, oh crap, I forgot. It's just math.
yeah.
So
But Disney
I
now,
digress.
You would think that Disneyland would jump on the bandwagon and do the same kind of things like this, like what
Yeah,
Gulf was doing for Disney World. But no, just
yeah.
this was just exclusive to Disney World.
That's
So
so cool though.
yeah,
I love this.
it's really a neat.
Boom. Okay.
Okay,
A
now
blank book. Greg, what's going on here?
okay, this was a press kit when I wrote in. I wanted to understand, get a little more information as to what went into building the contemporary resort, as well as the castle, as well as the Polynesian resort. So this publication, I believe, I've got a lot of them, and they're all different colors, but the design of the folder itself, they all look the same. Some are blue, some are gold, some are red. But this one is gold. I believe this one is has information, publications, and everything from U.S. Steel,
Okay.
and all of their information as to how those particular structures were built and with what kind of materials. So that's what this press kit would have would have showed you, or
Yeah.
it showed me. But
I
yeah,
what year? Because I love so the colors are
oh
telling
yeah,
to me.
this is strictly 1971,
Yeah, I was
72.
getting like these are some 70s colors and I love it. I love the 70s colors. I love the gold, the orange,
Yeah,
teal, gold, orange, teal together. Boom, you got me. I love
yep,
it.
yep. There we go. U.S. Steel, yeah, United States Steel.
Yeah.
So this was the press kit. They gave you a little bit of background as far as like who was the president of U.S. Steel, as well as U.S. what is it, USS Realty Division, Development Division, and they describe everything as far as an investor's guide to what you could invest your money into.
Mm,
But yeah, it was just it's such a cool press kit.
it is.
Lots of photographs.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there's another one. That's
And what you're seeing here, this was the construction of, say, like your typical room at either the Contemporary Resort or at the Polynesian Resort. They were all structured in this kind of fashion.
hmm.
They what made each room different depending on the resort was the wallpaper and the decor that fell inside of that room. But
Right.
the structure of how it was built, they were all built the same. exactly like what you're seeing here in this model.
This is cool. Okay, so
Yeah,
anything here? Move on.
yeah, keep going. It's like a lot of the same guys.
Yeah,
There we go.
that's a great photo. Here,
Yeah,
I'm gonna zoom in real quick. Just to That's cool.
yeah.
I love dioramas. I'm like, oh, I could put action figures in
The thing,
that.
what,
That's
what,
like that's 112
yeah.
scale. That's
What
like
upsets
legitimate
yeah, what
112
upsets me when I see this, and also excites me at the same time, is like what excites me is that these guys went through the pains of making this model like true to scale. So the Imagineers, or even the Imagineers, built this for U.S. Steel. I'm not sure who built this model, but now they don't so much. Well, Imagineer still does this kind of modeling, but a lot of it's done in computer graphics.
It is, yeah, or 3D printing.
Right.
Nowadays you could sculpt that and 3D print it, but then that's probably wood.
Oh, that's
And
all
there's
wood.
a lot of I do a bit of diorama building
Yeah,
myself, and a lot of it is foam. So a lot of foam and foam core. That's how I know foam core.
exactly.
But this is impressive because this is like craftsmanship. This
Oh,
some
yeah,
guy was there with like a bandsaw, like moving around perfectly, you
right.
know, just to build this is pretty. I love it. I want it. I want to put my action figures in
Oh, wouldn't that be cool?
it.
And again, this is more of the photographs that came out of that press kit. So think of this at this is the classic
Beautiful.
photograph for the preview edition's front
Yeah.
cover.
God, it looks beautiful. Like
Yeah.
I see these photos, especially in black and white, and I'm like, oh, this looks good. But then I realize, okay, when is the last time you've seen in person something like this?
Well,
What?
also in this photograph versus the preview edition's front cover is
Yeah.
that the preview edition is more zoomed in, so you see the hotels and Bay Lake and such. In this photograph, you're seeing the golf courses, which you had the Palm and the Magnolia.
Right.
Those are the first two golf courses that were built at Walt Disney World.
And
And then
imagine Walt. I've heard this from I think it was Jeffrey Barnes, maybe, or maybe it was somebody else. Um, the story of Walt Disney World and how Walt was flying over it. And Walt had such an imagination.
oh
He
yeah,
could see a blank palette. He could see a canvas that has where nobody and 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 I think if I remember right,
well,
uh
it's like that classic movie of Walt in his overalls, and he's
yeah.
got this like a red and white checkered shirt on with this like straw hat on his head, and
Hmm.
he's like marching off footsteps, like measuring off something
Yeah.
for Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in his mind he knew exactly what was going to go in that spot that he was marching off and
Yep.
measuring off with his own 2 feet.
Yeah.
The same thing. The guy was such a visionary.
Visionary, and I love that. Yeah.
He knew exactly what he wanted to see in his parks.
Yeah. I love that. That's something as I learn more about Walt, uh, I value that. And it makes me feel better about myself
Yeah,
because, I, my head's always in the clouds. So,
yeah.
why not? And collecting, I think before we move on, just collecting there's something about collecting. I think I collect action figures and things, and memorabilia a little bit. But I think there's something about standing back from your collection. You hyper focus. Sometimes there's hyper focus. It's like I need that one little thing. I need this to complete that, or
Mhm.
that looks good. I could use that to complete this. But when but most collectors have the ability to zoom out and look at it, everything as a whole and go, this is good.
Yeah.
You know?
I have a lot of collectors reach out to me and say, "Have you ever seen this particular thing?" And they'll describe it to me. I'll go, "Give me a second." And I start digging in my stuff in the back here or in another room. And I go, "Is this what you're talking about?" And
I have
they
one of
go,
those.
"Oh yeah, that I didn't know even if that even existed." Oh yeah, here it is.
I love that. I think that's funny. Oh, that's a beautiful photo
Oh
right
yeah, and yeah, and mind you, the difference between a color print and a black and white was basically the same price back then. Why
Yeah.
they didn't do this in color? I mean, why did they have to do it in black and white?
Yeah, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Maybe I don't know. What do you think? Why do you think they did that?
That's the big mystery. I have no idea.
Hmm.
I mean, I have that particular print, the
Yeah.
litho of that, and the colors in it are so rich and vibrant
Yeah.
that it's like a black and white photo.
I
Just
know.
just
Well, it's right. Like right now, you can watch awesome show right now. Spider-Man or Spider Noir, Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man.
right,
But you
right,
can watch it in
exactly.
black and white, or you can watch it in Technicolor. They could at least like. And I went with the Technicolor. Now, if it was just color, I would have said no. I'm going black and white. But
I
it's
mean, there's
Technicolor.
a lot to be said about black and white, and I mean, that's a medium that I absolutely love. That
Yeah.
a lot of people don't
But not for
appreciate.
Disney. You know,
Yeah,
Disney needs to be colorful and and whimsical. You know, if you're noir, if you're something, more moody, broody, yeah, like black and
right.
white. But I agree. I think I agree with you that like, why didn't they at least, you know, put some color?
Especially this, mind you, this is a press kit that's going out to investors. So
Yeah.
it's like, why would you want to? And pardon my form of description, but why would you want to dumb down a picture that
Hmm.
has so much color and vibrancy to it to a black and white picture? I mean, it just
Hmm.
didn't make much sense to me. But
Yeah.
that's what came in the press kit, so it's like, so be it.
Yeah. Bonk. Oh, another black and white.
Yep,
Well, this
there's
is cool though.
yep,
I like this. I like
that's
the blending of the. There's the cartoon sailboat in the story.
and
This is cool.
that's the Polynesian resort, which unfortunately the tower was never built, and but still, I mean the bungalows on the lower section, that's what the Polynesian resort was to look like.
Yeah, still looks beautiful. Like
Oh, and it's
you
gorgeous.
got to think about like what it felt like to be there during that time.
Yeah.
And some of these photos are great because they're like
Well, you know what
it's
this
not
picture.
packed with
Yeah,
people. It's not like overcrowded. It
right.
just it looks beautiful but simple at the same time. Go ahead, Seth.
And you know how Disney doesn't throw away their sketches and stuff. They put it in archives, whether it's Disney archives or the Walt Disney Imagineering archives. But this, if you're looking at this like we're looking at it right now, and think to yourself, Alani, the Alani Hotel. This is the Alani Hotel.
Hmm. Yeah, cool. That's a great photo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Nerve Center.
1969. Release immediately. Nerve. Ooh, this sounds harsh.
Yeah.
That sounds.
Yeah,
Release immediately. Nerve Center, the Advanced Information Communication System planned for Walt Disney World, would be controlled from the RCA Systems Communication Center. Visualize above. Open to the public as a highlight of the Tomorrowland area. The center would tie in all the communications throughout the vacation kingdom, including telephones, radio paging, the two-way radio, computer operated displays, monitoring and control systems, and television. Any reproduction of this photograph must be accompanied by a copyright notice. We're in trouble. Reading copyright Walt Disney Productions 50th anniversary year.
What's funny is that this particular photograph, they never built that at Disneyland, but they did build something like that over at Epcot.
Okay. What can you explain this to me? I feel like I know RCA. I remember that was I remember getting like blank VHS tapes. RCA.
Mm-hmm.
You can so what is this? I don't even know. I got to be honest. I don't even know what I read.
Well, what they're telling you is that they're going to have like a control center that is going to be the center point for communication for the whole resort, and it was going to occupy a space in Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
But as development of the parks were progressing, they just found that this is just not going to work for Tomorrowland. So when they were building Epcot, which was what 10 years later for an '82 release, uh, yeah, you could find this in the Communicore Center of Walt Disney World, or
You know
I'm
what?
sorry, of Epcot.
You know what, Greg? You want to call this number right now? Let's.
Right, right.
What
I don't think you're gonna
do
be
you think
talking to
would happen
anybody,
if
but
I
yeah,
called it right now?
yeah, go ahead.
I'm like really tempted. I'm like 212. Maybe I will. I kind of want to try 212.
Now, mind you, that probably is going to call the Rockefeller Center in New York.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Hold on.
All
I'm gonna
right.
put it on speaker. Yo.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh.
Uh,
All right. I gotta put it on
yeah.
first. 1 2 1 2 2. I don't know why I'm doing this. But I have to.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's a number. It's not one of those corny numbers you see in the movies where it's 555 and some four-digit number.
I know.
This is an actual
All
phone
right. My
number.
phone died. All right. Maybe that's the universe telling me don't do it. So, for the record, everyone, I tried. I still might later. I'll be like, I'm gonna call that thing back. All right.
There we go. That's what was behind that little. Every one of these photographs or sketches came with a sheet over the front of them, giving you a brief description as to what you're about to see in the photograph. So
Yeah.
this is what the Communicore was supposed to look like in Tomorrowland at Walt Disney World in the Magic Kingdom.
That's
But
cool. That's a great
yeah,
sketch. It's yeah, it's
this just reeks of John Hinch to me. I mean,
yeah, something
he did
like
a lot of
that.
this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if John Hinch is the artist here.
I was thinking something like that because I'm like, I know the artwork is haunting in a way.
Yeah.
I love this artwork. It's
I love the rows and rows of computer banks in the background with reel to reel magnetic tape.
uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it. You know, like I love what I love is like of all the future that we thought the future would be,
Yeah.
and what we thought the future would be is way better than what the future is.
Well,
You know, and I love
it's
that
funny
stuff.
when Michael Eisner was CEO of Walt Disney, of Walt Disney Productions, the whole
Yeah.
company. He had a slogan, a thing that he wanted to get away from this stale white environment.
Yeah.
He called it living in a it was a unique phrase that he used to use. Oh gosh, oh living in my Idaho or something.
Uh-huh.
I'll have to Google this.
Yeah, you got I now I have to know that because I think I agree with that. It's
Yeah,
we always think the future's going to get more streamlined, sterile. But no, what if it got more, I don't know, warm? What if it got more uh, you know,
I'm looking at it. I'm
not
looking.
simplified,
Let's see here.
but with art? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Let's see here. What do you?
What if the future got more, gosh, this is curious. This is a mind.
Uh,
What if the future got more like rustic, but in a technologically rustic. You know, there's like modern, and then there's rustic, and then there's modern rustic, which is my favorite kind of
I
design.
think it was a B-52 song. It was like my private living in my private Idaho. Okay,
Private. Oh, okay.
private Idaho, and that kind of style of thinking that Eisner was going through.
Yeah.
He wanted his Tomorrowlands or Epcot to have a reflection of not a stale white steel look and appearance to them
Yeah.
to these lands. He wanted them to be more open, more welcoming.
Yes.
To be able to walk in. And granted, you might have steel and white spaces, but you had a lot of trees and a lot of
Well,
ground cover and a lot of
yeah,
bushes, so it gave
and
you a more
think of like Japanese
right.
like aesthetics. So like Japanese aesthetics, it's very
Yeah,
very modern, cut clean. There's purposes, but yet there's trees. There's
yeah.
warm beds with or couches. Low couches with you know
I'm looking at the. I'm
cushions.
trying to bring up that phrase that he used. Oh,
I'm curious because it sounds like a good phrase.
let's see here.
I'm also looking at this United States Steel Corporation
Yeah,
SDRCA thing.
yeah. Michael Eisner used a Gus Van Sant 1991 film, My Own Private Idaho, as his uh, his justification as to how he wanted the Tomorrowlands
Yeah,
of the Disney theme parks to look like. He wanted to have a more natural feel to them, a more welcoming, and not so like THX 1138
yeah,
sterile environment kind of thing.
yeah.
And he's trying to get away from that and just give you a more welcoming type of land.
Also, Greg, look at you multitasking, my friend. My goodness.
So this is still out of the same press kit. This is a multi-page document on the left from U.S. Steel Corporation talking about their first two themed hotels, which was the Polynesian as well as a contemporary resort, and they talk a little bit about it and how they worked in a cooperation with Wood Enterprises and designing it with Weldon Beckett and Associates, the architects, and it's a really good read. I had to pull that publication out, Xerox or scan off the pages and send them to you, Jeff, so you can take a good read on them. But it's a really good publication. It's probably about, I want to say, about 5 pages long.
Yeah,
And then on the one on the right, where it says RCA to develop the first 21st century communication system to serve guests and management of Walt Disney World, that too is a similar length of a publication, but this one put out by RCA, and how they were going to develop this thing called WEDCOM. It was their system of systems. It was like Colossus.
yeah.
The Colossus computer. It was Skynet from that kind of thing. So they just go into a very detailed description as to what you'd expect to see at Walt Disney World in this communication system, which was being developed for the Communicore of Epcot.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm
All
trying
right.
to find that quote too, and I can't find it. Oh no. So for our listeners, I'm trying, everyone. It's not that I dropped the ball. I'm Googling it as we speak, but
Which phrase was that?
well, the
Which
one
one?
about Idaho and
Oh
not
yeah,
making
it's My Private Idaho. Yeah,
my private Idaho. Okay, give me one more second. Let me
yeah.
try my
My
Idaho.
own
Oh,
private
but
Idaho.
you already. Okay, so you found it earlier.
Yeah.
I kind of just want to my private Idaho,
It's that the actual thing is My Own Private Idaho.
my own. Okay, the
But
Disney.
Eisner used to use that quite a bit when he described how he wanted his new Tomorrowlands to look like.
Yeah,
And if you look at the 1998 version of Tomorrowland for Disneyland, you don't have so much white everywhere. In fact,
mhm,
the Space Mountain itself was a combination of colors of gold and green, and it was just it made it more welcoming, a lot more. It was a beautiful environment to
yeah.
walk into.
And
So
that I can't find that quote anywhere. So that probably is very rare to find that quote, which is why we exist as sharing the magic is
yeah,
because I can Google it and I tried. I could not find
really,
that quote anywhere. So
I
maybe
know.
someone is a better Googler than I am, but I'll tell you what, this is why we're preserving
Yeah.
these kind of stories because I literally went on Google, I went on Chat GPT to help me search it. Could not find it anywhere. So
Yeah, I don't
interesting.
know where specifically where you'd go look for that. If you, I would have
An
gone to the same
article or
sources too.
someone, yeah,
Yeah,
like where do you go to find that story?
yeah. If I
Here,
come,
that's
if I
where you go.
well, if I come across it, I'll definitely scan that off and send it to you.
Yeah.
So we can look we can use it as a topic of a discussion
Yeah.
another time.
Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna click on this and it's gonna do the same thing that's done. It's probably gonna, oh,
Oh no,
no, I'm just trying to, that's done something weird. What is it doing? Here, stop.
are you zoomed in too close?
It's just, oh,
There,
there.
there we
Yes,
go.
I
There
am.
we go.
Good catch. Good
Ah,
catch.
there.
There you go.
Again, more publications that came out of that press kit. You know,
Orange from Walt
yeah,
Disney. P.O. Box
yeah.
Orlando. This is Disney World. Yep. This is cool. How do you actually, so you, how do you obtain all this stuff?
It was just
Oh, did it again.
when you'd write to Disney, productions, or if you write to Disneyland, or by this time Walt Disney World is already open. You know, if you knew, if I had the address for Welton Beckett and Associates, the architects, I would have written to them and asked them, "Can you
Yeah.
send me any literature that you had on the construction of the Disney hotels at Walt Disney World?" I'd get
Mm,
something like that.
yeah.
You'd have to do a little bit of investigation on your part up front to know where you wanted your letter directed to. Because if you're just sending it like me as a kid, just blankly to Walt Disney Productions, it was a luck of the draw as to who it was going to.
Yeah.
After a while, after I was doing so many letters, and I would be sending off to different divisions of the company, I would, I knew who to ask for, specific things, and what to ask for.
Yeah.
And if you phrase your questions, to where you don't sound like a little kid anymore, which
Uh,
I'm about 17 years old at this point. I am phrasing my questions appropriately, and I'm getting the kind of responses that I was hoping to get.
yeah. And I
And
think that, for our listeners, if you're a collector, I think that wisdom, that transcends to any kind of collecting you do.
yeah.
My brother makes bourbon for a living,
Oh.
so but he would go around all Kentucky and he had connections. He would, but
Mhm.
it's hey, do you have, but it was how you said things. There was buy-in. You have to have buy-in from people,
Right.
and like what you said, how you phrase things or say things, it allows other people to buy in, and then that's why I love collecting. It's community, and you build community. There are times where I know, if you're in the action figure world like I am, it's like, oh, there's the pre-order. Oh gosh, the pre-order is today. And then like you know that. You have it on your calendar. And then I go watch YouTube videos of other people that are live streaming like, I'm going to pre-order this too. And there's a big old community over something as silly as, this is going to I'm going to do I get the pre-order?
Yeah.
Okay, you
Right.
know. But there's a community, and it's the same with any. I think any. I don't know if any kind of collecting, but I think most kind of collecting, there is a community and a language,
Yeah.
a language to the community,
Well,
and
it's a combination of language and also building relationships.
that's right.
And
That's
for
right.
me, I was fortunate to know I was fortunate to have built these kind of relationships with people that I didn't necessarily even work with. It was just
Yeah.
out of the love for
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah. The
And
mutual love.
yeah,
I
and you
love.
start talking Disney to these Disney legends, believe me, they start opening up to you, and they would just do a brain dump on you that would just blow you away.
Oh,
And
oh, do I know?
right,
On the
right,
podcast for 3 years and been
yeah,
like, the minute you open it, there's times, and these are some of my favorite podcasts. We're gonna move forward in a minute, but it's like some of my favorite podcasts is I'm like, I'll do a goofy greeting. Oh, gosh, hi there, and I introduce the guest. Oh, welcome to sharing the magic, and then it's like,
you
and
got
then
Bill Farmer
that's it.
opening up to you.
Yeah. So, and then before you know it, it's like, boom, that just opens the
Yeah,
floodgates. and it's
Yeah,
so
it's like stand back, the flood is coming.
yes, and those are my favorite episodes. And there's even episodes that are even better. It's where, oh, we had like one or two of these where it was like, oh, it's our 1 year anniversary. Let's get a lot of guests, and they know each other.
Oh
They
yeah,
already.
oh yeah.
So then, as a host, a podcast host, I just sit back. I'm like, I'm just gonna let you guys talk because they're like, hey, remember the time that we did this, blah blah blah, and they interview each other, and
I
it is
know
so
that's where it just takes
wonderful.
off.
Yes.
You have no control over the conversation at that point. They take it over, and you're a participant. You're just sitting back going, "Holy crap! What am
Yeah.
I listening to?"
And it's the best podcast you could ever have. It's like, wow, this is so easy. They're doing my work for me. You
Well,
know,
it's like
it's wonderful.
I was talking to, is it Vanessa or
Venerina.
Veneria? Yes, Veneria.
Hmm.
And who is the other young lady?
We have Dawn. We have
Dawn. That's who it
Ashley.
was. It was
Yeah.
Dawn and Veneria. Veneria. We got to talking on a side note, and they were telling me about how much they love, you know, Lady and the Tramp. And I said,
Yes.
really?
I remember that.
They said, yeah, that is our favorite Disney classic movie. And I'm going,
That's
wow, that's
funny.
cool.
Wow.
And
I love
so
it.
as we got to talk, and they told me about their favorite scene in the movie. They said, we love the scene where Lady and Tramp do share that string of spaghetti, and they
Of course.
connect and
Yeah.
they kiss.
Yeah.
And I said, well, would you like to talk to the guy who made that scene? And they're going, huh? Who? And I said, well, Willie Ito. He's one of my friends. I'd give him a call.
Which,
I'd give him a call, and we can talk to him. And they're like, huh?
uh-huh. Which
So
we do need to get that. That could be a whole
so
podcast.
I
But
called Willie that
okay.
night, and I asked him. I said, "Can I asked Willie if he'd like to get together for lunch?"
Yeah.
And then after lunch, we'd go back to his house, and then I'd open up my iPad and call up to Dawn and both ladies
Wonderful.
and say, okay, here's your point. Here's your opportunity to talk to Willie. And so that's going to happen on June 4th. Yeah.
I love that. That's so sweet. That's this podcast. That's what I, like, and that
And believe me,
sweetness.
Willie will open up to you like a flower. He will just
Oh,
share
that's
stories with
wonderful.
you that will just blow you away. He'll talk about that scene. He'll talk about other movies, everything that he's ever done for Disney. He'll just
Oh,
that's the opening, of your book. You open up the binders, and man,
yeah.
everything starts coming.
That's it. That's the dream. And
Yeah,
it's so funny. It's like the over 3 years, it's
yeah,
been, we're just to have a space for people to share their
yeah.
stories is so cool. And I'm so grateful, blessed, uh great. I have gratitude for who else gets to hear even this collection tonight. It's like, oh, this is important. This is something that throughout the year, this is why we do what we do, and I'm dedicated to it because I think I always make the joke, if space aliens in 100 years from now, we're all gone, we're all, our lives are over, but they go, what was this Disney thing? And then, we all
And they
blow
find these
ourselves up.
podcasts out there.
Yeah. And then, you know, we're like the Twinkie of podcasts. We still exist. We're the cockroach. We're like, it doesn't matter. We've all nuked ourselves out of existence. But the thing that exists is sharing the magic and all the vaults. And then space aliens go, and they go, episode one. And then they just keep going and going and going.
Then they
You know, that,
binge. They do a binge
they
watch.
do, they go, yeah, they do a deep binge on sharing the magic. That's what we are. That's what we are. This is why and we exist for two reasons. One is to preserve the stories and like yours, the collection, but we also exist because um, story shapes life. And so, you know, the stories that we hear now can help, and even a collection of just
Yeah.
even nostalgia, it can help shape our lives, the here and the now. And it can help. Nostalgia can be toxic because if you live in the past too much,
Yeah.
and you don't embrace the present. This comes from Disney adults, um, that book. But nostalgia can also be really, really helpful
Yeah.
and beautiful and empowering because you're like, oh, this makes me feel good. And then, you know, you reflect. I'm sure you do this with your
Oh yeah.
collection. When you're sitting with your collection, it feels like your story. You look around, you're like, that's part of my life. I remember this. And yeah.
I pulled this out just the other day uh, by accident, and it is probably one, if not my rarest thing of my whole Disney collection.
Cool.
You see it?
Mickey Mouse theme song, Minnie's Yoo-Hoo to Mickey Mouse. Oh, Mickey Mouse Club
This came out
Piano.
in 1930. It's got a copyright of 1930 on the inside. See if I can open up to that page. I got
Wow.
to handle this thing with really kid gloves,
I
guys.
know. I'm
It's
nervous.
yeah, yeah.
That's
There it is,
wonderful.
down here on the bottom of.
Wow.
Let's see here, of this page. You'll see
Okay.
the copyright on it.
Hold on. Let me see. I don't think I can zoom it. Let me make
Let
you
me get closer to you then. No,
here. Let me
when
make
I zoom in, you the camera zooms out.
Well, I don't think I can see it,
Yeah,
but
in that blue lettering in the bottom of the page, I'll tell you exactly what it says.
okay.
It says copyright 1930 by Walter E. Disney.
Hmm.
And it says all rights reserved uh, for, let's see here, what's that? Two words on the very bottom. For Great Britain. So apparently this publication was made for Great Britain, but this is so rare, this song sheet.
So
Uh, I got this from Dave Smith's collection, and yeah, it I don't know how
that's cool.
it was just in an envelope like one of the ones I showed you earlier, the
Yeah,
one said Walt Disney Productions. It came from archives from Dave Smith, so yeah,
that's amazing.
that was yeah, that's
Okay. All
yeah,
right. So I did fix our.
cool. And then I have this too,
Oh
from
yeah.
1969. It's the song sheet and lyrics for Grim Grinning Ghost from the Haunted Mansion. This
Oh.
came out in 1969.
We have a lot of
Yeah.
Disney people that we know at Sharing the Magic. Shame on you for not being here right now because they would love
Oh
this.
yeah. It's all the sheet music to the attraction. So I'll
Yeah.
open this up. I'll open this up. Here we go. Can you see that?
I mean, yes,
Yeah. Yes and
blurry-ish.
no. Yeah.
Yes and no. Yeah.
But it's all the music and all the notes and everything. Uh, I don't play any instruments. My daughters do. My two daughters. So I have one daughter that plays the flute, and I have another daughter who plays the piano. So I handed this to my daughter who plays the piano. I said, "Can you just play this for me?" She, "Oh
Yeah.
sure, Dad." So I put it up on her little stand on the piano, and man, she played out "Grim Grinning Ghost" to the letter. And I swear, it was like, wow, yeah.
I'm texting my friend. I'm already texting people like, you're gonna be jealous.
But it's like I pulled this guy out the other day. You'll probably recognize him.
Yeah.
It's the Marquette Sam the Eagle
Oh,
from America Sings. Yeah,
that's awesome.
they gave these dolls or these Marquettes out to the press back in 1974. So I got one of them here.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm kind of jealous. I want it. I'm like, oh, that's my world. Statues and action figures,
Oh
and
yeah.
I like those are my favorite kind of things.
Well, then you'll appreciate this one too, Jeff. Ah.
I want it. I want it. I want it. This is
Right out of the
great.
Pirates of the Caribbean. This is right out of
I know.
Pirates of the Caribbean for Walt Disney World.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
they
That's
had a
so
limited run of these too. I think it was Walt Disney Classics that made this. But oh yeah, it's one of my favorite, marquettes as well.
That's my jam. That's the stuff that I go. I like photos and pictures. I love maps, like what's behind you. I love and oh,
You and I are cut from the same cloth, brother. I mean, this is the
I
kind of
think
stuff
so.
I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And when I have an opportunity to pull this out and show it to somebody, it's like they start drooling. And for me, I'm so thankful that I get to own that thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. To me, it's like recapturing. There's a. This could be a whole other podcast, but for me, it feels like if I have a statue or if I have an action figure or if I have some, I own a little piece of, I feel like I own it.
yeah.
Like that story becomes, I really get to hold it. Like there's Mondo. Mondo is a action figure. They put it in statues. Well, they just put out a Goofy movie. It was
Really?
like Powerline, Max, and Goofy, and it's these figures that you can shape them. You can put
Hmm.
in different arms and legs and tell, but you can tell stories. You can
Yeah.
tell stories, and what I think I love about collecting is that I can feel the stories that have shaped my life, and it's a tangible physical thing that I can look at and go, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." I really like that, or I love that there's something that feels good about looking at a picture or a map or an action figure or a statue or whatever it is. Um, but then there's a part where I get to story tell.
Yeah.
So I have my shelves and I can sit things together and how I want
Hmm.
to do it, and then I can look around and it's my story to tell. But it's not my stories. It's all the stories that have shaped me, but then I get to shape the narrative, which in
It's
turn
it's
shapes me.
it's like I've got a little camera, it's not even a camera. It's like a lens it's attached to a long like a 6 foot cable,
Okay.
and I can get that little camera into tight spaces. I primarily use it for plumbing issues and stuff. So I'll send it down a drain, and I want to look on the inside of the drain as to what kind of
Yeah.
things I'm dealing with
Yeah.
in a repair or such in the house.
Okay.
But I've used it on my Bob Olzinski's models. Like I've got on my shelf just above the computer here. I've
Yeah.
got the Haunted Mansion that he did. I've also got City Hall. I've got the Sleeping Beauty's Castle from Disneyland. I've got Monsanto's House of the Future, all
Yeah.
sitting on the ledge just above my computer. Now I could take that lens, attach it to my iPad or
Yeah.
my iPhone,
Yeah.
and I can like take the lens and zoom in and actually do like a walk through these buildings.
It's
And it's the same thing. It's like being
Love it.
there. It's like I
Yeah.
feel like I'm right there in the theme, at
Yeah.
Disneyland, walking through the Haunted Mansion or walking through City Hall.
I love
It's
that.
it's a trip.
It is. It is. It's the same thing. Absolutely. Okay. Well, here we go. I'm gonna share this.
Okay.
And this
Oh,
fascinates me.
here
Yeah.
we go.
Okay.
Frank Allnut.
WED. Oh, Imagineer. WED.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Frank was a wealth of information. Oh my gosh. I I don't know how I got him one time on one of my letter writing campaigns. And mind you, this is back in '69, and I just sent off a letter, and it went straight to Wed Enterprises. And Frank, being the manager of public relations, he answered it. I must have sent this guy at least 30, 40 letters over the course of before he finally got sick of me, and he sort of like shoved me off onto somebody else. but 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 Frank, he I think he is a Disney legend, and just the most gracious and nicest guy you'd ever imagine.
Yeah.
And how he put up with a 15-year-old kid that was writing in asking for things of anything of Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, anything that Disney made, and he was the one who would answer me back.
Wow.
I'm sure I'm sure he had a staff of people that could answer these letters, but it was him that was writing them. So it was just incredible. In this particular letter, what what he sent me back was I have a blue. It's a press kit for the 1967 Tomorrowland, as well as it was a like World on the Move publication that was also for that 67 Tomorrowland. Two separate publications. One is like a notebook. It's probably about half an inch thick, and it goes into detail as to how these attractions at Disneyland in the new Tomorrowland were built. And then in the like I said, and then in the press kit itself, it was like similar publications of what you saw a moment ago, where it was in the like that gold Walt Disney World folder. Similar thing, but this was for the new Tomorrowland. It had the word Tomorrowland spelt out to where the L was a rocket, and it had like an exhaust plume going underneath the letter L, as this L was going up across the, going from the bottom to the top of the press kit's page.
Yeah.
And on the inside, oh my gosh, the things that came in that press kit, you could. It had a page where you could mail away for photographs, which I did, and got every photograph that that this press kit talked about. I got so many cool things from this. Uh, I wrote back to Frank and asked him if he could just send me one more press kit, and he did. So I had two of them. One, like I said, I took in that press kit this mail away page where you would ask for specific photographs. That one you had to cut up and mail back to Wet Enterprises to get these things.
Okay.
So one of my press kits is completely intact, nothing's missing, nothing's been cut up, and the other one has just that one page that's been cut up so I could get those photographs.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
But
I think we got about, let's see. Let's do about 5 more. Let's do one more. Let's do one more if you're good
okay,
with that. And then
sure.
same bat time, same bat station next week, I think.
Did time go that fast? Wow.
Yeah. Oops, I did it again. It's me. And then next week, here's what I promise to you and our listeners. I'm going to find a different way to share this. That way things don't crash all the time. And but anyways. All right, let's go. Let's do. All right. Hold on, I'm going to get us right back to where we were. Oh, this is interesting. Let's do this one. This is okay. I like that I get to surprise you with your stuff that you already own.
Well, it's like when
that one.
I'm I'm making a point this weekend that I want to in the bookshelf that's directly behind me. I have a lot of publications that I never look at, and I'm seriously going to box them up and put them out in my garage, and then I'm going to replace them with every D23 publication, every private auction from Potter and Potter and vending galleries that I have up on that shelf. And it's a daunting task for me because I have vertigo, so it's kind of hard to get up into high spaces without getting dizzy and like, Jimmy Stewart, here we come.
I'll come right over. I'll bring a ladder. Don't worry, my friend.
But that's what the plan is for this weekend, is to take that stuff down and replace it with all these publications that I have literally spewed all over my office here that need a proper space to be displayed into where I can,
Yeah.
go in like a public library type of thing where I can go and reach for it and know that the one I'm reaching for is the one that I want, as opposed to reaching for one and it's like, oh, that's not the one I want. Oh, nope, that's not the
Yeah.
one I want. Nope, nope, nope. I don't want to go through that, which is what I'm
Actually,
doing now.
let's do this if
Yeah.
you don't mind,
Sure.
because I'm going to be selfish, because I want, part of me is like, let's do one more, but I know where we are in my
Okay.
ADHD brain. I could put a pin in it and go, okay, this is next week.
Okay.
But here's
You
I
know,
want to
you
feel
know,
better about
here's
myself. So
can I
I love that you
can I
love your collection.
can I make a
How?
suggestion?
Yes.
Rather than put a pin in this spot, can we talked about this like many couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
The poster collection I have. Let's talk about that.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I sent you a lot of posters.
Oh, I know. And I'm looking at what you've sent, and I'm dedicated to go through every one of
Oh, I
these
know.
photos. And then I don't want to skip over them because this is an amazing collection. But I think that might be interesting to go. Let's focus on the poster. No, the posters
Can I?
next
Because
week.
I have stories behind practically every one of them as to how I got them.
I love that. That's a great way
Hmm.
for next week. Okay,
Yeah.
but here's how I was thinking. I want to ask you. Um, I collect things and I feel silly sometimes. I feel like you know, I'm a divorced man and I think back that poor woman. I go, she put up with me and but she did. It was real sweet.
Yeah.
Um, but I love, I used to put my collection in the garage and I would exile it into the garage because I just, that's where my nerd stuff lies.
Yeah.
That's where, but then the garage is hot and cold and it hurts the
Yeah.
collection.
It sure does.
And then now I'm thinking, I said, I can't, I love the collection. And I go, oh no, who's going to put up with me? But yet I've, I'm starting to ease into it where I'm
Yeah.
making displays. Okay, I got a display in my room. I have,
You
you can't see it, but above here there's a shelf and I put all my stuff up here.
You've got to
Uh,
realize the value in the collection that you own, Jeff. I
yeah,
mean, if you haphazardly just store it somewhere and then go back to pull it out, you may find it's been damaged by the weather or by
right,
humidity or whatever. You
right.
got to be real careful because you yourself are preserving the magic here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
And it was actually a mutual friend. It was a friend, um, where she goes, "Hey, uh, you're putting it in the garage. Don't you worry how hot it gets in
Yeah.
California?" And I went, "Oh, you're not wrong." So now now here's the thing. I have to embrace the fact that I'm a collector.
Yeah.
I I have to be okay with it. I can't put it out I have to bring it
Yeah.
into my world. Um, your collection's wonderful. How have you how here's my big
Mhm.
philosophical psychological question. It's like how have you been okay? Just been like, "Oh, this is who I am. I like doing this. This is a hobby." You know, and not felt I'm sure you got a great collection. I'm sure everyone's like, let me see your, but I collect dumb things, right? I don't collect,
They're important
uh,
to you. That's all that matters.
here's the question. How over the years have you as a collector grown comfortable in your own skin as a collector? That's the question.
Yeah. It's kind of like I I use the frog in the boiling water scenario. If you put a frog in water and bring it up to a boil, it'll not jump out of that pot to save its own life. Okay,
Yeah.
but you put a frog into boiling water, it'll jump out immediately to save its life. Okay, well, the
Yes.
same thing with my collection. I've been sitting with this stuff for 60 years, and I've seen it slowly amass to what it is today,
Mhm.
and I'm comfortable with what I have. But at the same time, too, if anybody that was to walk into my office, that didn't know what they were walking into,
Yeah.
they would probably come in and go, "Whoa, whoa, what's going to fall on me?" Or, "Oh my God, what is all this stuff? Oh,
Yeah.
what is this stuff?" And I get that from friends that come over that don't know
They don't
how
know.
big this collection is. For me, it's like, oh, just another day, but to them, it's like, whoa, what the heck?
Yeah. Yeah, they're overwhelmed by
Yeah.
the collection,
Well, the
but
sheer
then
sheer number of the things that you could see in this room.
yeah.
Yeah,
But then people that are this is why I think I'm excited to keep this going is because I know Disney people. I've been doing this for 3 years now and
yeah,
I know there are people like it's- the things that are you are showing, they're not just things. It's not
right,
like, hey, I found this Disney thing at the flea market. No,
yeah.
this is memorabilia. This is history. This is Disney. It's
Well, it's like,
Disney
okay,
story.
I'll go to thrift stores or antique shops, and I'll peruse what they have
Sure,
on display. And even if it says Disney and it's in that shop, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to go in there and buy it.
that's right.
I'll look at it and I'll say, is that something that's worthy to come into my collection that
That's
I'll really
yes.
enjoy, or is this just a random piece of something that I really won't give a rat's
Rat's
patootie to
ass
look at
about
it
it.
at a
Yeah.
second time.
Well,
So
and you are right. Here that is a beautiful point. Here's why Bill Farmer, my hero. Oh
yeah,
gosh. Um, I so when we interviewed him,
Mhm.
uh, I met him once, and then we got to interview him. So it was the second time I got to meet him. Um, you know, he was like, "Oh, I have this collection." He's like showing us his collection of things, but he doesn't get every goofy thing
Right,
imaginable. And
right,
here's the thing. I went so with the first time I met him, I found there's a this is before all the shirts, goofy movie stuff, everything
yeah,
exploded, but I had this purple goofy shirt that I loved that I found from
yeah,
some non-name, person that made shirts.
yeah,
And I thought, "Oh, this is cool." So I bought one for Bill. And when I met him, I gave him the purple shirt.
yeah.
And he goes, "Really?" He's like surprised. He goes, "No, nobody brings me shirts." I'm like, "Well, no, I brought," because I was wearing it. He goes, "I like
Does
your
he
shirt."
wear it?
Yeah, yes, he wears it all the time. And it boggled my mind. Like, I would see him with Jody Benson or like
Yeah,
I'm like, "That's the shirt I gave Bill." And it's so sweet.
yeah.
But here's what I realized about Bill and collection. And I asked Caitlin Robrock, who's Minnie Mouse's voice,
Hmm.
I asked her sort of the same thing. I'll touch on that in a second. But it's like, he doesn't get everything goofy.
Yeah,
He can go, he sees, "Oh, gosh, oh, that's me."
yeah,
But
yeah,
he doesn't go, "Okay, I have to buy it."
yeah.
He has intentional things. Big old statue of Goofy. He
Hmm.
goes, "Oh, this doll means a lot to me." And then he wore the shirt that I gave him. But it made me really reevaluate the way I collect.
Yeah.
It made me go, does it spark joy? I don't need to collect everything Goofy. And
It's
the
like
Bill Farmer doesn't either.
It's like one of my really good friends. His name is Stan Pulowski. I don't know if you're familiar with that name. Stan was the exclusive. He had the exclusive rights to Charles Schultz's Peanuts characters to
Mm.
build any kind of jewelry or any kind of like
Oh,
little
wow.
caricatures or anything. Bill is, Stan is an incredible artist and
Yeah.
sculptor.
Yeah.
And I've been to a studio countless times down in Long Beach. And Bill also has
Stan.
I'm sorry, not Bill Stan. Yes, sorry about
I
that.
know.
Yeah,
I got Bill in your head.
you got
They're
Bill in
like,
my head, Bill Farmer. But
instead of Goofy, it's like, Bill.
but Stan knew everybody at the studio. I mean, Ken Anderson used to come to his house and crash on his couch all the time.
Yeah.
And he has so many stories with all these people, all these famous Disney animators, and that was mainly his focus, was the animation department.
Hmm.
But Stan has a collection of original artwork that I have never seen. And in fact, when I used to go to the studio for my senior project, Dave Smith would have drooled if he saw what Stan has in his collection. He has things from the original. He has the original artwork from Pinocchio. He has the original artwork from Bambi. He has the original artwork. We're talking the cells, the background sketches. The things that Claude Coates would have made. I mean, he's got some of the most amazing artwork in his studio that. Yeah, and the sad part is it all sits in a shelf in a drawer somewhere, and he pulls it out and goes, "Hey, look what I got!" Wow! He puts it back in the drawer and closes it.
It's like someone
But
has a real Bigfoot,
oh,
like, oh, there's a taxidermy. There's somewhere in
yeah.
the world that has a taxidermy Bigfoot, and they're like, oh yeah, that's just in
It's
that
like
room over there.
Stan with how his collection blows my collection out of the water. A lot of us collectors that are big time collectors, we consider ourselves as like whales, the whales of collecting.
Yeah.
And Stan he's freaking monstro the whale as far as I'm concerned. He has the most insane animation artwork that on the planet of
Does he
Disney.
ever share it?
No, that's the thing. That's the thing.
He
I,
should.
I'm going to talk to Stan.
Get him. We'll do
Probably,
this.
probably,
We'll do this
probably.
every Friday, and I'm committed.
Stan reached out to me about a week ago and said, "Hey, we haven't done lunch for a while." And I said, "Yeah, you want to? When do you want to get together?" He's got a real favorite Mexican restaurant that's like up the street from his studio
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
always go and hit. But we always go back to his studio and just sit on the couch I'll just drool at this collection
Yeah.
that's like
See,
around me.
well,
But I'm
part
going
of
to ask Stan to see if he'd be willing to participate in a podcast with you.
that's what I was thinking. Well, and part of
And we
Friday
do it in
nights.
his office. I'll bring my iPad where I can
Yeah.
like move that thing around and you can see what I see.
That's what I was
It's
thinking. Part of this, make it a Friday night thing.
no.
Make it a Friday night thing that it's going to go indefinitely, and we slow it down. We look at your collection. We talk about Disney, and then, but if there's someone like him, we share his collection too,
And
and
that's
and
just it.
and you're part of it. So
I mean, I love sharing my collection, but I love bringing the people that I know that
yeah,
you definitely want to see out
yes,
into the limelight and share them to you. It
that's
would be
it.
the Stan, or it'd be the Willie Ito, or
Yeah,
it'd be my buddy Louie, or like David Shagag, who, in his backyard,
right.
Disneyland. I've been to his house a couple of times, and yeah, it's just like these are the things I would love to bring out in the forefront, for sharing the magic,
Yeah,
aside from just my collection. I'm more than willing to show anything you want to see out of this,
yeah.
but at the same time too, I just get so excited about the people that
Me too.
made this stuff.
That's why we're still
Yeah,
around, because I'm like, if you look at our reviews now, I do believe we are gonna go. We're gonna go higher.
yeah,
I hope we're trying. But that has never been at the forefront of sharing the magic. It's always been sharing the magic. That's
yeah,
our mission statement,
yeah.
and so absolutely 100%. That is why. Yeah, that's just that would be that's it. That would be amazing to do, and
When I when I'm over at Willie's house next on the 4th, we're gonna go to his favorite Japanese restaurant, and then after we have lunch, we go back to his house. When I get to his house, I'll bring the iPad with me, and aside from having the Dawn and what's her name, the other
Venerina, or you
Vanarina.
can call,
That's
you
a
know what,
that's
an
that's
easy
a
way
name
for.
I'm gonna constantly forget.
No, 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 no. You can. I
Okay, so
I forget names all the time.
Vanarina and Dawn, they'll be a part of that conversation with Willie, but at the same time too, it will be off that iPad. So as they're talking to Willie, I'll be able to walk around. Maybe he'll walk with me,
If
but
he
we'll walk around his
wants,
house, and
yeah,
you'll see a collection that will just blow you away. Willie, he was the marketing director for everything that was being sent to Tokyo Disney Resort. Willie had Willie gave his stamp of approval for everything that was being done to those theme parks.
Yeah.
So the things that he has for press wise and such, aside from being this famous Disney legend animator, his own collection would just blow you away.
Well, Willie, if you're listening, um, we would love to have you, but no pressure. What we'll say, you're not here for us. We're here for you. And if you would like to be part of that, that's okay. But I will say, if that's not if that's okay too. If he, I kind of just want this podcast to be sort of like a recliner chair for all the Disney people,
Yeah,
for every kind of Disney people,
yeah,
and to say this, we aren't you're not here for us.
yeah,
We're not here to, of course we want like and subscribe everyone, of course. Duh.
yeah,
But the truth is, here's what I think. I think if we if we have character of heart,
yeah,
if we do things the right way,
yeah,
if we care about our guests and we care about our mission, which is to share the magic,
yeah,
and we're not here to promote ourselves, we're here. I think in due time, it might be a long, slow burn, but I do think as we've been doing this for 3 years, we have about a year of podcasts that
oh
we
gosh,
are behind on that we got to put out.
yeah,
But I think people will. I don't think. I hope people will go, oh yeah, this is. I get, and it's niche. It's gonna be the Disney people. It's gonna be the ones that look at your collection and you drop the names and they go, oh, I know that name. Not everybody will know that name, but just like if you're rock climbing or if you're doing jujitsu or martial arts,
yeah,
there are references and names that you kind of have to have a baseline to know,
yeah,
you know, and but I think we're here to preserve that kind of magic. We're here to all the collections and all the.
yeah.
Okay, I don't even know where I'm going now. I'm talking myself to
Okay,
death. Sorry,
it's all right.
sorry, Greg.
I'm here, man. It's like,
Do you have any parting words? Do you have any? I was going to ask you another question, and I think it was. Oh, here's what it was, and I think this would be a good question, maybe to go out on. Beginner, someone who's a collector just started,
oh,
and you talked about earlier forming relationships, and I know that's very, very true.
that's very important. I
Yeah.
mean, if
So what other advice do you have for a beginner collector? And maybe specifically Disney. If someone goes, I got this one little Disney thing that's a trinket. Gosh, I would like to expand this. What kind of advice would you give them?
well, for me, or for them, reach out, do your research on the internet. Check out the various auction houses that are out there, and there are a lot of auction houses throughout the United States, if not the world.
Okay.
And look at those sites to get like like information of the things that you want to collect, because it's out there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
out there for you to retrieve. And from that, you'll be able to, through your own discovery process, you'll be able to find out specifically who made this particular collectible, or who made that particular movie, or who was the producer, or who was the director, who was cast into this, you'll find out everything that you need to find out. And then you need to take it to the next level. The next level is then reaching out to those sources that you've just discovered, and just be honest, be open, be very, very human about your questions. Don't get all caught up in the fact that what this person may represent in the company, or a movie star. These are people that put the pants on one leg at a time. Don't get caught up in the excitement of what is driving you to ask them questions. Just take a breath, step back, and just ask your questions. Whether it's in a a telephone call that turns into a FaceTime, or perhaps it turns into a letter writing campaign that I did. You know, whatever the media that you feel comfortable working with, that's what you do, and you just reach out to these people that you'll find on your journey, and you reach out to them and ask them whatever questions that you need information for,
That is
and you'd be surprised.
well, and there's the word. This is the the trending word, vulnerability.
Yeah,
People never talked about vulnerability, years and years ago, but no, that is sort of the word. That is sort of the thing
yeah,
now. But it's true. Vulnerability to say, hey, my name is Greg, and I collect, and hey, I'm just reaching out because I think I would love to give it a good home,
yeah.
or what.
Well, it's like we haven't shown the picture of the map that Sam McKim made for Walt Disney World. He was he was sparking ideas in his own brain as
Mhm,
to how he was going to put this map together. He'd sketch out a little portion of what he wanted to include on the map on a piece of buff paper,
mhm.
and then he would then cut it out and then tape it to this overall like blueprint, and this thing eventually evolved into this map. And I have the map, but I also have the actual work in progress document that Sam was working with. And having the relationship that I did have with Sam is that he was done with this map. You know, he had
Yeah.
made his map for Walt Disney World, and then on to the next project. And you got to be at the right place at the right time too for a lot of these things. And he just said, "Hey, you want this?" And he was going to throw it away. It was like
Wow.
it didn't mean anything to him. But when
Wow.
I saw it, and I'm going, "Holy crap!" I mean, this is a work in progress
Yeah.
of a Disney map. You know,
Yeah.
sold at one of the theme parks. Oh God, you're going to throw it away? No, no, give it to me. So I got things
Wow.
like that from these guys. You know,
Okay,
it's just
that is.
yeah,
We got to add that into the poster
yeah.
collection.
Right.
Why a
Well,
map? Remind me if I forget, because
Well,
that would be
well, Matt
wonderful.
McKim was doing a special presentation at Bauer Museum out here in Orange County on his dad, and it was a special, I want to say, 100th birthday of Sam McKim, and Matt got a bunch of us together and pooled, things that we had from his dad together so he could put it into this presentation.
Wow.
And from it all, a lot of collectibles came out of that show that Matt put on. But I remember Matt reaching out to me. He says, "Hey, do you have that mock-up sheet of that Disney World map?" And I go, "Yeah." And he says, "Yeah, can we borrow it?" And I said, "Sure. It's your dad's. I mean, it's really part of your family. But sure, if you want to borrow it, sure, go ahead." So he borrowed it for a little while and then gave it back to me. And I don't exactly know what he did with it, but I'm sure in his slideshow presentations and such that they did at the Bauer Museum, that was a part of the slideshow
Oh
presentation.
yeah, how could it not be? For
Yeah.
sure. Greg, did you have fun tonight?
Oh, I'm having a blast. Whenever I get to talk about Disney collecting
I
and
know.
stuff, man, I'm in heaven. So it's like,
Good. I was
yeah,
hoping you'd say that. I'm like,
yeah.
do you want to do it again next
Oh,
week?
are you
Part
kidding?
three?
Yeah,
Keep
yeah, yeah,
going,
no,
keep going, keep
yeah,
going. Okay.
yeah. We definitely do it again next week. Yeah,
All
and
right.
then
Well,
and then
and
whatever.
then that's the plan. All right,
Okay,
Greg, thank you for being part of sharing the magic.
my pleasure.
Presents.
My pleasure,
Greg,
Jeff. Yes,
yeah,
thank
your
you for having me.
collection is amazing. Part two. Um, yeah, thank you for the wisdom too. And I like that overlay of not just the collection, but what does it mean to be a collector, and where story shapes life,
Yeah.
and your story and all the stories you collect, how does it shape your life? And then I don't know. There's I feel like somebody could listen to what we just
Oh,
recorded, and there will be a better person tomorrow, and
and a
that's
ton
sort
of
of what.
questions afterwards too.
All righty. Well, I'm going to end the
Okay.
live stream, and then here we go.
Okay.
Everyone, like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Find Sharing the Magic on YouTube, uh, which we are streaming. Yeah, all, I don't know what else